What's poppin', my Freeform Renegades? You are tuned into the Freeform Network. Thanks for joining us for another fun episode of Freeform Radio. I'm your host, Noel, with my co host, Daniel.
Yes, sir, man. It's a little warmer today, but it's still beautiful. Getting this podcast rocking today.
Very true, very true. And we got Andy here.
It's all good, Andy. I want to thank you guys for joining us, and we'll get the ball rolling.
For sure, man. Yeah, it is a beautiful day here in Chicago. Wherever your listeners are, we hope you're relaxed, feeling good. And we're just going to jump right into this one with starting off with Daniel. It looks like he's been watching a lot of movies here. So I'm kind of interested to get his take on this one. Tell us about Backrooms, Daniel. What'd you think about that one?
Oh man, yeah. I figured you were gonna want to talk about this one. I think you spoke about you watched this. I'm not really even sure if you've brought this up in the past, but yes, this is a weird one, man. Uh, I I can't even really say that I liked it. I didn't dislike it. Well, I guess let me start off with this. This is a really weird movie. I think it's based off of a video game, if I'm understanding right. But the main premise is that there is a back room or another adjacent room to the world that you can go through a wall. That sometimes you see this flicker in a wall, and if you touch it, you go through it, and then now you're in a whole new other world. And this other world, I don't want to give too much of the movie away because a lot of it is trying to figure the movie out. And I got to be honest, I think I'm pretty good at stuff like that. Uh, my son's the one that introduced me to this movie, and he's like, "Dad, you got to watch it, this and that." So I assumed he kind of knew what the hook was, and so I was, kind of boasting at the start of the movie. I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna figure this thing out. Don't worry, I'm good at this." I gotta say, after watching the movie, I don't even know the story or how it even works. But needless to say, there's this back room that you go through the wall. Action transpires because there's these beans on the other side. It's a really weird shaped room that doesn't make sense shape wise in some circumstances. Uh, yeah, it's very odd. It was an independent movie, I believe. I don't think any big distributors were part of it. I'm looking here on Wikipedia. It looks like it was less than 10 million in budget, and it's so far made. I mean, this is just a recent movie, but it's close to 400 million already. So I think it's got its hooks on people. Um, yeah, I don't want to say too much of the story, but my opinion on it, I didn't really care for it, maybe because I couldn't figure it out. Is this a movie that you've seen, Noel?
So actually, yeah, it was one on my list to talk about. But I'm glad we're talking about it now, and I'm glad you watched it too. And it's like a good opposite take because I actually did enjoy it. I thought it was pretty creepy and horrifying. If you put yourself in that situation, right? Like if you put yourself in the that person's shoes and you're going through this, it's just so strange and creepy, and everything seems like uncanny valley because everything just seems like never ending and almost like a fun house. If you ever been to a fun house with like these weird mirrors and all sorts of weird stuff, and
Hmm.
like you just feel disoriented, that's what the back rooms kind of feel like. Like you're just constantly disoriented everywhere you go, and it's not supposed to make sense. That's exactly what they're going for, is to like make you feel lost and like helpless and like uh like there's no way out, which pretty much there almost isn't, depending on how far you deep you go. And it looks like, yeah, we're not going to spoil anything. It is a recent movie, but the actor, what's his name? I'm blanking on the name. I think his name is Chiwetel Ejiofor or something like that. He's been in a number of movies, Doctor Strange, um, a bunch of movies. But anyway, he's a good actor, and he did well, I think, for the limited dialogue that you have and just the strangeness of once he is there long enough, it like takes over his mind essentially. He come kind of like submits to the back rooms and he just becomes one with it. And in doing so, he creates this monster. So not to spoil it, but essentially this place has like a life of its own, and it mirrors you. You're the worst version of yourself, and so that creature thing that appears is actually a reflection of that character, of that guy that owns the store that he goes into this back rooms and finds it by mistake. Um, and that's why later on you'll see another monster. I'm not going to give any spoilers as to who it is or what it is, but there's another monster now, kind of in a way there that's left over. So there's definitely, I think, going to be a Backrooms 2, and I would say I'd give this like a 6.5 or 6.8, close to a 7. There's still improvements to be made, I think, but it had what I wanted out of it. It was just this creepy chapter, like, and it's based off the video game, which is also similar. If anything, the video game can be sometimes, a little bit more creepy because you're actually in control and you're kind of running away from this stuff. But they did a good job, I think, in the movie. And there's plenty of gore too. So, anybody that wants to see a decent, creepy horror movie with some gore, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'm assuming you've never heard of this, Sandy, but yeah, I would
No.
say it is more like a thriller. It does have some horror, but yeah, definitely a thriller where you're trying to figure it out, trying to figure out what is going on in this world. But yeah, it was super weird. I agree with you. I think they're probably going to come out with a sequel, especially with the money that it made. Um, After the movie, Junior started giving me his like theories because I guess the internet's going to buzz trying to figure out what it is, find out the details of it. And yeah, I told him, I'm like, I bet you that's why this movie's successful at the moment. It's kind of like when Five Nights at Freddy's first came out, and there was just a baseline story, and then there's all these unknowns, and then the internet just goes crazy trying to figure it out and create their own like little back lore and details and trying to figure it out. But it's exactly like you mentioned, Noel. Yeah, even Alana was like, I don't know what the hell's going on. But we watched it because Junior was really excited for it. And I could see the allure of it. I was just so lost. Maybe another watch would help me get through it. It was definitely Junior's second watch. He had watched it before already. So maybe he picked up a few details after researching it a little bit. But yeah, I can't say I recommend it just because I was kind of lost and I couldn't figure it out, which again, I feel like I can figure out movies for the most part.
That's the thing now with everything with shows and movies, especially older shows and movies, but there's always these theories now that where it's like it's really this is what's going on. This happens because of this, and down to like Rugrats up to I was seeing something that Captain America, there's a theory created the Fantastic Four, the new ones in the Marvel universe, and that's why he came out. He's gonna come out in Doomsday, and like there's just all sorts of shit. People got a lot of time on their hand, so there's a lot of theories and about like split personalities, and it's really this. And people make great points, and there could be
Yeah,
some truth into it, and sometimes it's just like yeah, it is what it is, But yeah, that's probably the only plus now with some
the
of the newer
internet,
movies.
social
There's a lot
media.
of theories. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, another movie jumping onto something else that I watched that has a similar like where it's kind of confusing at first. Memento. I I'm not sure if you've seen this one, Andy. This is kind of an older one. I
It's
think
a
it's
90s
no,
movie, isn't it?
yeah, I think it's Nolan North. He just came out with that new Odyssey one, I think.
Yeah. Early
Yeah,
2000s.
Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Christopher Nolan is the one
Batman
that this,
and
yeah,
yeah.
The Dark Knights. This is also one of those thriller movies where it's very confusing. They kind of piece together Pulp Fiction style the story, and you're kind of trying to put the whole thing together. Very uniquely filmed, and maybe this is kind of similar to the Backrooms, where if you kind of don't catch the hints, you might get lost towards the end, and maybe it won't be a satisfactory ending. And maybe that's where I need to go back and watch Backrooms so I can get those little hints. But yeah, this movie I enjoyed. It's my second watch through. I've seen it before, a little bit closer to when it first released, but I just recently rewatched it, and it was, now that I knew the ending, I could see those hints a lot better going through the movie. So it was more satisfying to watch it again the second time through. Is this a movie you've seen, Noel?
Yeah, actually, I've seen this one maybe once or twice, but it's actually been quite a time, like quite a long while. I think 10 years at
Right.
least since I've watched it. It's a good one though.
Yeah, for sure. I know Guy Pearce. He's a good actor for the most part. You mentioned you watched it, Andy. Do you remember if you liked it or not? I know it's probably been a while.
Nah, I mean, to be honest, I really don't remember too much of it. So I've probably seen it and I'm kind of like, eh. So I
Yeah,
really I remember the name. I'm trying to remember, and I really don't remember much.
yeah. He has amnesia, but it's short-term amnesia. So he remembers long stuff, but not stuff that happens in the here and now. And it's really weird because he loses his memory like every like 10 minutes, or I forgot what the time limit is. So it's like immediately he could start this podcast, and right now we're 20 minutes in and he would have forgot the start intro where we talked about how the weather was or whatever. So it's really weird. So he takes notes. He's constantly taking notes. He's constantly taking pictures of people, putting their name on it, so he can remember what people's names are. He tattoos himself with really critical things that he needs to remember and doesn't have the time to retrain his brain. So if he sees a tattoo, he knows, okay, this is a fact. I don't have to question it, because even notes sometimes he would have to question, because he's like, did somebody write this? Did I write it? Did somebody influence? So it's a really weird movie. It's a who done it, trying to figure out who killed his wife or who killed somebody. And so it's a pretty good movie. He was like a detective or some kind of like internal affairs detective before he had this accident, which gave him amnesia. But pretty interesting movie. I dug it. Not too bad. I would recommend this before I recommend Backrooms, but yeah, maybe I have to give Backrooms a fair shake and watch it one more
So
time.
let me ask you about the Backrooms. That how do you feel that you feel like you got to rewatch it to have a better understanding of it, or you want to rewatch it just to see like did I miss something?
Yeah, because I think I'm unfairly bashing it, because from the sounds of Noel, he really dug it. My son really liked it. My wife's with me, so I guess that's we're two for two right now as far as who likes it and who doesn't.
The
Uh,
generational thing, I think.
it could be. It could be age. It could be definitely age based. Uh, but again, I like watching movies, as Noel alluded at the start. I watched like 8 movies since the last time we spoke. So I do like watching movies. I do like watching thrillers. I do like trying to figure things out and see kind of like the hidden thing, like True Romance, stuff like that, where you see like there's a mystery, you're trying to figure it out, you're trying to piece together what's going on in the story. So yeah, I think I'll rewatch it, maybe just so I can feel good in my assessment that the movie's not that good. But we'll see. Something else that I watched that's a little more recent, because I'm trying to catch up to all the Daredevil stuff that's going on. Because the Spider-Man movie is going to be coming out soon, and I heard that this is going to be playing a role along with the Daredevil stuff. Is I watched The Punisher: One Last Kill. Really short movie. It was made by Disney or Disney Studios, which is odd. I'm not used to watching Disney in this aspect, as far as that it was very bloody. It was very gory. He's like shooting people in the face, and there's like blood splatter going all over the place. He's like, doing Steven Seagal arm breaks, and it's like really, really graphic. But yeah, Punisher: One Last Kill. The other thing that was really weird is a really short movie. I think if I remember right, it's only like an hour and a half. So it's like either an extended one episode or a very short movie. But it was very cool, man. It was very good. I I heard some people not like it too much as far as that he cries a lot in the movie. Uh,
Punisher's crime.
yeah, well, I don't know if you call it crying more
He
to
was
where
getting emotional.
he was distraught and emotional because the start of the movie starts off with he finished killing the last guy that was involved in his family being killed. So it is the end of this chapter, and a lot of it goes into the military as far as I'm a Marine. This is, you know, we have a mission. We have a mission, and we got to accomplish it. And so that's the kind of basis it's kind of using for him having a mission to kill the people that killed his family. And now that mission is done. So he's self reflecting back to his mission is done. What is my next mission? And that's where the movie starts. He's kind of self-reflecting. So a lot of it, I heard people complaining because they're like, Punisher doesn't cry, Punisher doesn't get emotional. But yeah, this is that portion of him. He goes into his head a lot. He talks to himself. He's trying to figure it out, and he is emotional. Needless to say, halfway through the movie, or so, just about so, he snaps out of it, and he's just like, "I got to be the Punisher, and I got to kill all these people that are causing the community grief." And so he just goes at it and starts blasting away all these people, and it's basically one long action scene where it's just him just killing, literally like almost like 100 people. Uh, but it was cool, man. It was very cool. After the movie, Alana was just like, they should make a video game like this where you're just going around blasting people and just trying to, serve justice and this and the other. I'm like, yeah, there's actually quite a few video games that are like this. And it does have that kind of vibe, just because the action is very close in the characters. So you're very much in it. But I really liked it. I like the Punisher as a character, and I think this actor, I forget his name, but he is very good. John
Bernthal.
Berthal. Yes, he plays a very good Punisher. So, yeah, really enjoyed it. Started watching the Daredevil Reborn or Born Again. I forget what the name of that new show that they have on Disney. So I'm still barely into that, but this Punisher, very cool little one-off movie. Are you caught up with all the Daredevil stuff, Andy, with all the new Disney stuff?
I didn't like it when it was on Netflix. I didn't like
Oh,
none of that. I tried watching them. I know when Disney bought all that out, and down to the Defenders and all that. I was not into it. Uh, I didn't watch any of them. I tried to give Daredevil. Everybody was raving about Daredevil and Kung Fu or whatever, and I
Iron
did not
Fist. Yeah.
like it. Yeah, and then the side note, Jay Bernthal, I met him at a convention when he
really?
was on Walking Dead.
Cool.
Super,
Oh,
bro, he
nice.
took his time. It was real cool. He wrote uh, a nice thing on the autograph. Yeah, he was a great guy. I mean, that my limited interaction with him, he was not pushy or anything. It was great. I've met a lot of people, and some of them is business, and some are just they were not even friendly. He was super cool.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird to hear you say you didn't really like the Netflix things. Disney, I don't have Disney, so it's kind of tough to watch these, but so far enjoying Daredevil. You and all, are you caught up on all the Netflix and on the Disney miniseries?
So I did watch Daredevil and Punisher, the seasons that they had. I haven't watched this newest one that you watched though, for Punisher One Last Kill. I'm gonna watch that though before I go see Spider-Man. So
Hmm.
that's coming up soon. And I liked it all except Iron Fist had its moments, but it was lower quality
Iron
than
Fist.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
And then
Hmm.
I didn't watch Luke Cage, or what was her name?
The
Um,
photographer girl or the detective. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I didn't watch
mm,
those two.
exactly.
Yeah, but
yeah.
yeah, I did watch Defenders when they all team up. It was all right, 7 out of 10 kind of thing. Probably like a one and done. I might watch it again at some point, but I'm not like eager to watch that again. And yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's I'm more of a Punisher fan, I would say. Even going back to like the old movies.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I think was it Thomas Jane? It's
That one had John Travolta. Think about that. When
yeah,
that movie came out, and they were
yeah,
had Up Travolta was in it as a bad guy, and I mean it was okay. And then the one after, I thought the second one with the guy from Rome was better. And then after
Mhm.
that, I kind of give them like they're never gonna get Punisher right.
Well, that's why I like John Bernthal's.
Yeah,
Did you watch the show, Andy? The John Bernthal
not the
one?
new Punisher. I heard him on a podcast talked about he liked it, and he was talking about he was doing the movie, and he likes that character, and he was doing all this reading about him and research. And like I said, that guy's a great actor.
Yeah.
Just yeah, the whole Netflix to Disney that aspect, I never got into it. I tried. I was just getting. That's when I think it started getting too much for me with the Marvel stuff.
I would check out the Punisher one.
Hmm.
That show was great, man. And he's like John Wick, just messing people up, and
Yeah, that's
so
what I
I
heard.
I try that out one. But yeah,
Yeah, I agree. The Punisher and the Daredevil, those are the top of the Netflix ones. All the rest, Agent, all this, and uh, Luke Cage and all that. Those are all like second tiers. I wouldn't watch any of those. But yeah, let's just jump over to Andy and let's talk about his week. Andy, man, you reminded me here. I forgot it was the anniversary of our boy Hulk Hogan passing. Fill us in, man.
Yeah, so as of this recording, it's the 1 year anniversary passing of Hulk Hogan. It's a lot of milestones in wrestling. The other big one, which Hogan was a part of, it was I think the 30th anniversary of the formation of the NWO. Um, so yeah, and there was a lot of tributes to Hulk this week. It was good to see. I knew it was kind of coming up. I didn't remember the exact date. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that the Vault put out, and then they released some of the. I think they released the Hulkamania 1 VHS tape from back in the day. I started watching it. It was kind of, to me, I'm like, they heavily edited this, but I get it for copyright reasons. But it's great stuff in there. The early matches from the 80s. Um, I saw not Linda, Brooke post some stuff, and there's a lot of people posting stuff about him. So like again, yeah, it was good to see wearing a Hogan shirt that my sister gave me for Christmas last year. Uh, yeah, just to go, Hogan to this day still a polarizing figure in the industry and wrestling for the business, as they say and shoot interviews. Uh, so it was good to see. Uh, Real quick, I don't know if you saw the new Dark Side of the Ring. They did a three-parter on TNA, and they started the third. It's a three-part episode, so 3 hours. Think about that. Initially, I read that they wanted to do the whole season on TNA,
Wow.
and but the Vice didn't want to do that, so they made it into three parts. But the third part is, guess what? When Hogan comes into TNA with Bischoff, and they start. So there's this whole thing, internet, that Hogan and Bischoff kind of killed TNA, and they're bashing Dixie, and they made Jeff Jarrett, who started TNA, like this. They made him look like this guy. Not that he was perfect, but like he's the reason TNA got to a point, and then he got pushed out. And then when Dixie took over and she brought in Hogan, it expedited that whole thing with them not being as successful. So, and Bischoff on his podcast, he says he didn't see it, but he gave some pushback. So now this whole back and forth on the internet between Jarrett and Bischoff is going on what really happened. And it's the old, Hogan brought his friends in, and like they show clips of like Nash and Hall and stuff like that and X-Pac, but what they don't tell you, Nash was already kind of there, and Hall made appearances. So, and then they talk about how Bischoff messed up. They're blaming Bischoff when Hardy he was messed up, he was high on pills, and he wrestled with Sting. That how can they let him know? How come they let him wrestle? And there was this whole debate about that. And it's like always, man, wrestling is just they know how to tear people down. When it's all said and done, they're all human beings. But getting back to Hawk, they did. I think generally that 1 year from the 1 year passing, everything on the internet's been pretty positive. He had his issues, but it wasn't. I really didn't see too much negative stuff. Even our friend, Facebook friend, Saturmania posted some stuff about the TNA things, and the passing of Hulk. So it's a good day. I mean, like I said, I try to watch some stuff on him here and there, but the Real American, and we talked about it at length. Your documentary was another great thing. There was some of his. I mean, I don't want to call it a shoot interview. I wish that's something Hogan would have done was like a shoot interview. But he's notoriously known for exaggerating some of his stories. So, but business side, when it all comes down to it, Hogan was about money, and he played where he would look good. That's why people are still bitter to him about some of his plays back in the day. But any thoughts on the 1 year anniversary, or you even think about it, or just like what do you between you and Noel, thoughts on his 1 year, or good or bad?
Yeah, I'm curious, like you said, how Sater's taking it, man. Um, I'm sure he's taking it pretty hard. He was pretty close with Hogan. Sometimes I think a little exaggerated
He has a
close.
documentary with him, and
Yeah,
whatever that look that up, what how that went down. So
sure. A documentary that he got sued over by Hogan. So,
mhm.
uh, say that as it is. I'm not sure what the
Allegedly.
details are. Yeah. But yeah, yeah, I saw him mentioning the TNA stuff when you were bringing that up. And to me, I'm like, man, this guy, he defends Hogan like a mom would defend the son. And no matter if the son was killing somebody in front of her, she would still defend the kid and be like, oh, he's innocent. So I don't know. I would take what he says for a grain of salt just because he's a super mark for Hogan. And I don't know if I would truly believe everything that he has to say about it. But yes, it is anniversary. I totally forgot, but I did see a bunch of Hogan stuff, so it did bring that back in my head. I was wearing my Hogan shirt yesterday to a family party, just because, yeah, there's been a lot of stuff Hogan, but I didn't know it was because of his passing anniversary. I just saw a bunch of Hogan stuff. So, yeah, so much so that I ran into my younger brother Saul, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm on the last episode of that Hogan Netflix." He's like, "So far, it's pretty good," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's a good documentary." The last episode, you kind of get to see some of the dark side of Hogan and some of the bad stuff that people say he did. So, good documentary. I liked it. Sad that it's been a year so far since he died.
Yeah, the whole last episode with the pills and all that, I was kind of shocked to hear about that. But I mean,
Hmm.
hey, man, he's multiple surgeries, and like you gotta do it. Now you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, when you're in so much pain, what can you do, right? Noah, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean it's sad to be reminded, of the passing of people that you admired, that they were a part of your life, your childhood as well. So even though Hulk Hogan was bigger to you guys than he was to me, he was still a part of my, childhood too, and NWO era and all that stuff. And so yeah, it is kind of sad to be reminded that, he's gone, but hopefully he's in a better place. He's not suffering, and that's all you can really ask for.
No, yeah, that's what I said. Let us know what you guys think at ffnquestions@gmail.com. But my take on it is, yeah, when he passed away, there was people coming out the woodwork. No, they were saying what they said. They said their piece. I get that. And this year, the 1 year passing, I think, uh, like I said, it was more positive. The only thing like recently was just this whole dark side of the ring. And Bischoff made some comments about that. Like they're saying stuff like this where that person is Hogan's not here and he can't defend himself. Um, so yeah. that's it.
I did notice that, Andy, to that comment, that I've been seeing more shoot videos come up on my feed, and every now and then I'll click on them. There are a little more people speaking candidly on their relationship with Hulk Hogan. I'm not sure if it's because now, like to your point, he passed and now he can't defend himself. Not that Hogan would be 100% truthfully honest, because as you mentioned, he was known for exaggerating the truth a little.
Embellishment.
Yeah, so yeah, it sounds like Bishop himself has been coming out a little honest. Nash has spoken a little bit honestly on Hogan too, where they'll mention how it really was. Plus, that Hogan was a businessman and he was about making the best in the money. So whatever would work to make the most money, that's the kind of business he ran.
And to his point, he took care of his friends. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't doubt that. And you can see it in every promotion that he's been a part of, from WCW, WWE, down to his own XWF to the TNA. He's done it. He's brought in his buddies, and people harp on that, but it's what you do, man. When you got friends and people, you try to give them jobs. To me, that's always you want to help people out, and it's like a negative thing now. I don't understand it, and it is what it is. Again, it's. I'm not gonna say he's perfect. He's done some shit, but uh, yeah, I mean that's what he's done, and he's a businessman. And who isn't Scott Hall in a shoot interview for in the NWO DVD he goes, you know what? I have a lot of friends in this business, but I'm ready to make some money. Like I have enough friends. I want to make some money, and that's his reason for going to WCW. And nobody blasts him for making that comment. When to me, that's like, yeah, like that's personal. That's a personal thing that you want to do, and nobody shits on him for that. But they love shitting on Hogan, how he didn't want to do the job, or when he did lose, it was to certain things, to certain people, and it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, hopefully Hogan's in a better place, and like I said, watch a video or something. Remember, he did a lot of things in the wrestling business. The other thing I want to talk about, we talked about in the episodes, a couple episodes in the past. Check out our archives at our website on Podbean. I did watch and read something about the New Jersey drones in 2024. Needless to say, there's still a lot of conspiracy about stuffs about that. One of the big conspiracies was that the drones that were sent out there were looking for some type of radiation. Well, long and behold, they were looking for that, but they did find it, but they didn't. They do look for radiation stuff. They do use drones, but it wasn't at that time. The other thing was that they came out of the ocean. We did have a member of Congress come out and say that they suspected Iran did something, and that has never been, I don't want to say debunked, or somebody came out or the government come out and say anything against that. The only thing that they came out with at the end, there were the same people that were from space or they're coming out of the ocean. The only thing the press secretary said that they were authorized to fly there and they were doing some type of research and training. That's all they ever said. And then after that, everything stopped. It stopped. Well, the New York Post recently said that they figured out they know they're saying it was drones manufactured in the U.S. that there was a company that came to them and go, yeah, those are our drones, and all we're going to tell you, we can confirm they're ours, and we did sell them to a company out on the East Coast. That's all he was able to get them to say. Was able to say. So now everybody thinks it was some it's part of some U.S. shit, and that's the story that they're going with. And I think even Biden made a comment because it was before he got in or he got out, and he mentioned something. They're authorized to fly there, but that's going back to saying that the government is all in about just let misinformation get out when, especially when it's something of theirs. So that's the latest thing. 2 years later, um, and I was kind of like, that makes kind of sense. I thought for sure it was going to be some international thing, because remember when the Chinese let those weather balloons go through the whole fucking country, and then they shot them down over the Atlantic Ocean. Remember they were sending the U.S. helped Canada shoot down some fucking balloons in Canada, and they're just like, yeah, we know it's this, and people just like, how come they're not shooting them down? And they come to find out there were Chinese weather balloons. I don't know if you recall that. That was under Biden. And just people, they swept that under the rug, and nothing was, other comments were ever made. So, well, what do you guys think? Do you think it's a US made drone and the government did something? Or do you have, I don't know how much you guys looked into it, but the article I read in this video I saw makes kind of sense. Maybe it's not what I wanted to hear, but they did keep the manufacturer anonymous. They didn't say who it was, but they confirmed from two different people from that company, one or two, that it was made in the U.S. or with the U.S. made technologies.
And
Yeah,
it's hard to believe like what it could be. There's so many possibilities, and there's so much misinformation and just
Yeah.
like misdirection. It's hard to really believe any one thing. Honestly, I don't know, man. It's crazy though.
No, yeah,
yes,
it's nuts.
yeah. I saw something on my feed popped up that looked like a more modern alien autopsy, and I'm like, this looks kind of real. But with all the misinformation, I'm like, this for all I know can't could be real, but with all the misinformation, you don't believe anything now.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was it's the size of the drones at that time, and to think about supposedly the drone technology that Iran has is pretty, it's good. And what the Ukrainians are doing with the Russians, they're the first ones to kind of use drones in mass and wartime and been pretty successful at it. So maybe that's what the US is trying to, they were doing, because there was, they were finding information and all this. But let us know what you guys think at ffnquestions@gmail.com. Apparently, they're becoming a lot better, and they're not like a guy with a controller here, right? They showed the technology now. They use computers and they could set up patterns and all. It's like it's getting pretty advanced. It isn't like one dude with a joystick. What you think it, what the drones they showed us in the past. No, it's getting pretty automated, and I'm pretty sure they're using like AI and all this shit now.
Yeah, for some Fourth of July shows, they were using drones instead of shooting
Yeah.
off fireworks. Yeah.
hmm Yeah, it's getting pretty fancy, and it's evolving quick. So, but that's all the time I got for my things. Let's go over to Noel. I'm interested to hear his thoughts. I did see part of this movie. I had to stop because it was okay. But let us know what you think, Noel. It says here you watched the new Masters of the Universe, or AKA He-Man. What are your thoughts on it?
Man, it's mixed, dude. Honestly, I
Yeah.
wanted to go into it and like it, and like the thing is, I didn't grow up with He-Man like you guys did, so I don't even have a baseline of what I should expect. So I'm going into this like I'm just watching a new movie, but I do like, what is it called? The genre, sword and sorcery or fantasy, whatever you
hmm
want to call it. I've always been into Conan and all those, fantasy movies out there. So I wanted to like it, and before I even watched it, I heard, criticism of it and Jared Leto and all that stuff. So I was like, well, let's see, man. I'm gonna give it a solid chance. I'm not gonna judge it before I watch it. And it's a little bit longer than I thought it was gonna be. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I would say it's probably like 20 minutes too long. I think a 2 hour movie would have been just fine. And the first 20 minutes are pretty much like you can go make some food and then come back and you didn't miss anything. Like it's not gonna add anything really to it. Um, I would say it's worth watching. It is a fun, entertaining, just popcorn flick. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's not a serious, super serious movie. There's moments of seriousness that I liked, overshadowed by moments of like poor comedic timing. The only thing I could like describe it as is similar to like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You have these like moments in the Marvel movies where there's like a serious moment, and then all of a sudden there's this awkward silence, and it's supposed to be funny, and like it's just kind of like what are we doing here? There's a moment in Master of the Universe where he's like, he says, I have the power or whatever, and he does this, the sky, parts, and it just lightning comes down. It's super cool. And then there's this girl, she's like, dude, he's our savior. He's gonna help us. And then he gets tackled like immediately. It's like to make it funny, to make it
They're
like,
mocking
oh,
it, yeah.
yeah. And I'm just like, what the hell are we doing here, man? Like, why? What's the point of that? And then I looked and I'm like, it's PG-13. Okay. And I think the other Masters of the Universe was rated R, the one with Dolph Lundgren. And so there is a moment where Dolph Lundgren's in it too, and it's kind of funny yet like an homage to him. Like he's working out in the gym, and then this new guy's like, "Hey, you have any pointers or whatever that you can give me?" It was kind of funny, I guess, but I just think they should have done it more serious. Some of the comedic parts I did like, which Afrin also was a big fan of He-Man, and he would tell me that Skeletor has this laugh that's supposed to be like funny and comedic, I guess. And so since I didn't watch the TV show, the cartoon, I didn't really know what to expect, but I guess he fulfills that part of it. Like they make fun of his laugh and he's laughing and his henchmen are quiet. He's like, "This is where you laugh too," and everyone's like, "Oh, okay, And I'm like, "Okay, I guess." I mean, that's what Afrin said. Like, it should be funny, and I'm like, "All right." But some of the things I did like is the special effects was good. The environment was very bright, vibrant, really cool. The technology seemed like futuristic, and they're like flying around in spaceships and all sorts of cool stuff like that. So it reminded me of like like Star Wars or Star Trek or some of these like sci-fi fantasy movies that I've watched, and so I dug that part. It was cool. Um, the actor in the beginning seemed kind of like just goofy, and I didn't realize like Prince Adam was gonna be like that. I thought he was gonna be this more like macho, stoic character, but they kind of made him like this goofy character who's coming into his own. And it's like it's a little bit late for this coming of age thing when you're already like in your 20s, Like you should be a man, I think. I don't think you should be this like teenager in a man's body kind of thing. And so that I didn't really dig with too much, but when he does transform, it was cool. And him fighting, the action scenes were kind of cool. And overall, again, I think it's an entertaining movie. I don't regret watching it at all. Like it was, I don't know if I'll ever buy it on disc, but I do plan, like it's on Amazon right now, so you can watch it for free if you have Amazon Prime. So I do plan on maybe one day getting it digitally or something if it's on sale, or maybe even pick it up on 4K if it's on sale. But I'm curious to see if they'll do a second one. I think there's definitely room to keep going with it, but let me look real quick on the budget and all that.
I think
Um,
there was plans, but I don't know if they're gonna do it or they're gonna scale it back.
Yeah, I don't think
yeah,
they made their budget, so yeah, I think like no, like Andy said, there were plans. I doubt they're gonna do it now, or it might be like a straight to video kind of thing. But yeah,
yeah.
this movie, I was excited to watch it. It's actually something that I had queued up for today. Get some lunch and then watch Masters of the Universe. So yeah, it's a little disappointing to hear it's not great. I mean, I've heard people kind of shitting on it that it's not the greatest movie to begin with. For some reason, this movie and that Supergirl are both getting kind of blasted. But I was more excited for Masters of the Universe, even though I am going in with some expectations that this isn't going to be the greatest movie ever, but hopefully it just hits those nostalgia points.
That real quick, man. I got means of watching movies. I'm gonna say the last three movies with like sci-fi fantasy was Mortal Kombat, comic, the He-Man, the Supergirl. Dude, I was never this type of person. I watch those movies. I'm usually within the first 20 minutes I'm out. I didn't I did it for the new Mortal Kombat. I did it for the He-Man, and I did it for the
Supergirl.
Supergirl, and it was just I can't. And like every He-Man reboot cartoon, every time they've done it, they've messed up. Like they can't grasp what He-Man is, and they try to make it like you said, funny. It's an 80s cartoon, right? But everybody that just like they can't get it right. And I'm with you. Like I'm watching the first 20 minutes and trying to get the sword and all. I'm just like they're making fun of everything. Like it should be like serious, and then down to his HR person and like that when he gets like go. I'm just like, dude, none of this shit. Like, why are we having this? Like, fuck all this, dude. Let's get him back to attorney and start messing shit up. And like, just like it's too long. They're trying to be funny. And that's in the first 20 minutes. I'm like, I'm done. Like, I don't even care how he gets back. And like, I'm done. I stopped watching it because it wasn't, I'd rather watch something different.
Yeah, man. I would say stick it out, man. Just finish it up. It's on Amazon. You can watch it now. And like I said, those first 20 minutes, you could like just make some food and skip it. Because that whole HR thing, I'm glad you reminded me about that. I forgot
Yeah.
about that. That was so cringe, man. And I'm
Yeah,
like, what the
dude, it
hell's
was
going on
dumb.
here, bro?
There's
It,
20 plus seasons of Law and Order. I could watch half an episode in 20 minutes, and those are way better. And these are shows made in the 90s, like which I rather rewatch than this shit. So, again, that's my wife. Why are you always watching this old shit? And I'm like, because it's good. This new stuff is. Sometimes I'm like, just get to the point, right? Like, let's get it moving. Everything's you think everything's compressed, and Danny always complains they're just moving shit along. At this point, that's where I'm at. Like, just move the shit along. I don't need a detailed explanation.
It's funny
uh,
you brought up Mortal Kombat. That's also on my queue for today, Andy. So I'll let you know in the next recording if I agree
Let me know
with
if
you
you
on
watch it.
Mortal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with Andy, dude. I watched Mortal Kombat 2, and I was just so bored, man. I couldn't
Really?
even tell you what happened
Uh,
because I'm watching it and I'm like, this is just lame. The action scenes
Yes.
are god awful, man. I'm like,
And there's
where
action
who
scenes in the
chore
first 20 minutes. Yeah, and
and I'm
it's
just
just
like,
like,
who choreographed this? Like, it's just terrible, dude.
oh my
I'd
God.
honestly rather rewatch the first original. That was like legit, man.
Yeah, that's why when Andy was saying that Mortal Kombat 2 wasn't good, I'm like, bro, Mortal Kombat 1 is good, man. I like it. Or at least the reboot one. And even the 80s one was fun for what it is. So I was excited to watch Mortal Kombat 2. I just thought it was Andy's new shortened span of not liking good movies. I don't know. But yeah, now
Uh,
that you mention it, man, I'm kind of dreading watching it. I
I
might
was
not.
told the Mortal Kombat animated movies made by DC that made the DC comic movies are 100
Right.
times better than all this shit that came out the last couple years.
yeah, it's tough, man. Like you said, the Mortal Kombat, the Master of the Universe, Supergirl, they all didn't do that well, man. And I think it's because they're trying to cater to this, like, what is it called, the modern audience, and it's just not working, man. The older audience ain't liking it. So I don't know if the modern
It,
audience is liking it, but
yeah, it's I don't want to like just shit on them, but I just know for me, I don't like it. And like again, it just it's not that they're shitting on it. I don't know what they're doing. It just like they don't embrace the old or embracing maybe the storylines or I don't know. I get it. They're trying to update it, right? When we were in the 90s, they were updating shit, but this is just different and it's just not working. And then they say, "Oh, well, the movie's not made for you. It's not for that. It's made for all this type of audience." I'm like, "Well, that's why the movies are failing." So, good luck to you.
I agree with you, Andy, man. You don't get it, man. You old man.
You're the one rewatching movies like, did I miss something? Is this good? Like, nah, your first instinct is usually right, then it's not good. Or you're like, I need to take notes to figure this out. Is that where we're at? This isn't a
Oh
film, it's a
man.
fucking popcorn flick, right? You're supposed to keep you entertained. They can't even do that right now. And I know I sound like an
Yeah.
old man, but yeah, I don't know what to make of it, man.
I would stick it out, man. If you made it 20 minutes, just skip that part and just go from there. And the last 2 hours, it's entertaining. I would say I like that part better. He finally fights and all that. And the action sequences were cooler in Masters of the Universe than Mortal Kombat 2. I'd say that. Um, but they still will make fun of the stuff, right? Like Fisto or whatever. I don't even know the characters' names, right?
Yeah,
But they that like Ram Man or whatever. Like are
yeah.
these the actual guys' names? Like I don't know.
I had
Yeah,
that
Brahma.
toy. I
Heck
had that
yeah.
Okay.
fucking figure. Yeah, dude. And like,
Okay,
it's
that's the
just
actual
like,
names. Okay.
it just like, what's going on here? Like, and like the one-liners, like they're trying really hard. I don't want to say to be funny, but to like get people to laugh or crack jokes. Like, it's not working, dude. So I don't know if they decided not to take it serious. Like, let's make it fun of itself. And that could work maybe for like one character, but they did it throughout the whole fucking movie, and for almost all the characters. And I was just like, this is in those 20 minutes I saw that, and I'm just like, nah, man, I'm good.
All right. I'm not gonna watch Mortal Kombat now, but I'm definitely gonna
No,
watch
I
the
want to watch it and
Masters.
take notes because I don't
I'm
get
gonna,
it.
I'm
Get
gonna
it from Tim.
definitely watch Masters of the Universe, and I'll report back. I'll say what I say.
Now I feel bad because we're tainting it, and then it's like, man, I don't want to say these guys are right. So you got to go contrarian on us. It was a great movie.
Now let us know what you think, man. Again, Master of the Universe, I'd give it like I think I gave it a solid 6. Um, Obviously there's room for improvement. If they make a number two, I'll watch it. It was still entertaining. I don't regret it. And like I said, it's like the special effects were cool. The environment is just gorgeous, man. Really vibrant, and on my TV, it just looked great, dude. So I have no regrets. I'd actually do regret Mortal Kombat. I felt like that was 2 hours wasted, but Master of the Universe, I'd recommend it. It's fun, it's a fun popcorn movie. That's it. So, um, but you know what? Let's cut it off there, and let's get into the article of the week. All right, so we got some more gaming news here. Unfortunately, not good gaming news. This one's from IGN. Microsoft deletes user's 25-year-old account with thousands spent on games and his son's baby pictures after it was hacked. This came out July 14th, so relatively recent. And just kind of going really quick through this. It's not a long article. A viral post from a gamer known as Joshua Kane has been making the rounds on social media after he put Microsoft on blast. The user noted that his account had been compromised, and after reaching out to Microsoft for help, things actually got worse. Instead of giving Kane his account back, Microsoft deleted everything, even after verifying that he was the true owner. Not only did Kane lose 25 years worth of video games, he also lost everything that was backed up on the cloud, on the OneDrive. He claims that he lost his son's baby pictures in the process and expressed bitter outrage over the entire situation. He did admit that he could have locked his account down better, but ultimately wished that Microsoft would have provided better customer service to help him regain his account rather than just nuking it from existence. And then he did post on there on Twitter, the Microsoft deleted his account, 25 effing years of data gone, thousands of euros spent on games, son baby pictures gone, all because Microsoft couldn't bring his account back. And so the entire situation comes at a rather relevant time as players debate about the validity and value of physical items versus the digital records. While digitizing things like images and videos on the cloud is nothing new, there's also a push in the gaming industry to make a move away from physical and into the digital area. And so PlayStation announced recently they're going to no longer make physical games in 2028. And Xbox is also working on something similar to digitize their physical library into the next console. So if digital is the only way forward for gamers, then companies like Microsoft and Sony are going to have to figure out a solution so that things like this doesn't happen, where you can recover a compromised account. Part of the benefit of going digital is that your copy cannot be damaged or stolen, minus a publisher revoking your license, maybe like Ubisoft. But if a company can't figure out how to give you your hacked account back, then it devalues one of the biggest pros of digital gaming. Whether Kane's viral post leads to action from Microsoft, that remains to be seen, but hopefully it can at least spark some kind of change in the in practices. And I believe since the time of that article, I think they did help him out, but it was only after massive backlash and the this thing going viral did Microsoft finally respond like, "Oh yeah, we're sorry about this experience. We're going to look into this and figure it out." So I think they either helped them or they're in the process of helping them, but that's few and far between. Like if this happens to other people in the future and it's just all digital, they're once you're locked in essentially, like you have no other choice. I doubt they're going to be as quick to fix this stuff. But what are you guys' thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's like you mentioned, Noel. 9 times out of 10, your account gets locked. You don't get it back. You hear stories like that all the time. This guy did have the benefits that other people higher in the company did recover his account and give it back to him. But that's not the everyday story. And yeah, I believe stuff like this happens all the time. We just don't hear it publicized. Maybe now that this is becoming a bigger push, you're going to hear about it a lot more often, and it definitely scares people like me. Um, I'm a physical video game wise. I buy physical. Me and Andy kind of spoke about it a week or so ago. So I like having my physical footprint, but yeah, going digital, I don't think there's much recourse, man. It doesn't sound like Sony's backing out. Xbox publicly mentioned that their next console is going to be all digital. Steam is all digital. Nintendo's the only one that's still doing cartridge, but who wants to go play on a Switch? So yeah, it sucks. This is going to be the future, and it's up to people if they want to bear with it. To me personally, it is making me question if I want to be a serious gamer going forward. It is becoming a hobby that's getting more and more expensive. And as I'm becoming more of an adult that wants to fix his house instead of game all day, yeah, it's making me question how to move forward with this.
Yeah, I mean the whole online, the cloud and storage, it's just it's an ongoing issue, and people got more and more comfortable with it as we get away from other forms of storage, which we're talking about hard drives and on your network, on your personal computer, tablet, whatever. It's just it's becoming it's just becoming easier that with new technology it gets easier. The problem is somebody else is managing it for you. The Xbox, the Live or whatever. I'm assuming I don't know. I've never had an Xbox that's a paid subscription, right? Because I see gift cards and shit for I don't know what else could it be or to purchase shit. I don't know. And is you see I mean, we talked about it at length in this podcast about as a new generation system comes out, those old online and things just get more phased out because they're just like they need that space. And but the whole thing putting kids photos and all that, I don't understand. Or I guess I get the cloud thing, the
It's not,
on the Microsoft,
yeah,
but
it's
I
part of the
don't.
OneDrive.
The OneDrive, I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I understand that, but I don't know why he has those things up there on the Xbox. I could be wrong. I don't know.
It's
That's
all synced in
it's all synced in, right?
yeah, the
Yeah.
Xbox Live is just another. It's kind of like
Extension.
Teams. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like Teams, OneDrive. It's all synced together.
So yeah, and that was his biggest issue was, he lost his pictures. Yeah, that would suck. But yeah, man, like me and Noel, we talk about it, Danny. I was thinking about when we had our conversation about going next gen after the current PlayStation, it's gonna be all digital. I'm just like, I'm probably never gonna buy another gaming console again. It might be
Hmm.
retro stuff, but because I'm an avid Blu-ray, 4K, DVD, and every week I watch a movie or something from my library, and I got books and all that shit, and it's just, and they're making it harder for you. Is right now there's a resurgence of physical media down to VHS to DVDs. Their sales are gone up because people are having issues trying to locate stuff, and then the shit with the pictures and all their documents. That's easy to store, but everybody's used to putting them on some type of subscription-based option from Amazon to the Drive and the cloud. The problem, because they want accessibility to it, but again, you're paying for someone to manage all that, and if there's some inactivity or if you miss a payment, you're kind of screwed. And you see what he had to do to get some of his shit back. He had to raise hell, but that, like you guys said in the articles, that doesn't normally happen. Your people are like, sorry, it is what it is. Good luck to you.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, and yeah, I do worry about the all digital future. I don't think that's the move to make. And then you mentioned books. There's actually been recent article about Amazon taking away people's Kindle like books and stuff.
That's
So
been going on for a
even
while. Yeah.
exactly, so even that's not safe. And then not to mention, just a couple of days before this recording, Sony, or actually Friday, I think it was, Sony had an outage on the PlayStation Network, and it was out for like 4 to 8 hours. People couldn't play their games, and you have to do like a workaround. You have to set your console to primary or something like that, and then you could play them. But for the average person that doesn't know how to do all that stuff, they're not going to be able to access their purchased titles.
So,
So yeah,
yeah, sorry, real quick. There's a whole thing on the internet on lost media, like on YouTube and websites and social team, where people talk about what they remember seeing, but they can't find them because it was created in a format of like a website, like these videos, certain games that were stream only or exclusive websites that were used back in the day to promote shit, and now they're gone or they got sold out, and people just lose it. And there's people just scouring the internet to find some of this shit, and people are like, oh, that never happened, or this, it doesn't, like all this digital shit that was made early on, and people are trying to locate it and they can't find it because nobody ever sold. There was never printed onto anything or DVDs or anything. So uh, it's just an ongoing thing. I mean, I didn't know, like, just for example, Community had a show only on Yahoo, like one season. Did you guys know that? I don't know if you know the show Community. They finally released them on a DVD, but for a while people couldn't get them. The Critic had after it got canceled, they made a show on I don't even know what website, but they had made some episodes early on, and those are kind of hard to find too. And it's just there's all sorts of shit just scattered everywhere where people are just scouring trying to find and upload it, even down to games like half finished games or stuff like that. They're like they were working on it, and they just the plug got pulled, and people just saw screenshots of them. Stuff like that you see all the time is getting uploaded on, made them into ROMs and stuff.
Damn, that was quick.
yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, it sounds like you
Did you take the notes,
hated.
dude? You
You're
didn't listen
hating,
to it, so
man.
you need to comprehend.
No, I agree with you. There is a lot of missing media out there, and it happens all the time, man. I was looking for Mi Familia, the
Yeah,
movie with Jennifer Lopez and I forget who else.
that's
James
Emma
Edward
Roberts.
Olmos.
Yeah, yeah.
James almost.
Dude, I could not find a DVD, a Blu-ray, a DVD. I couldn't find it on streaming sites. I had to go and find a torrent, and even the torrent that I found, it was like 720, and I'm like, ugh, man, do I have to bear with 720 to watch this thing? But yeah, some media is really difficult.
You
It's
know, I
on
got that on the
YouTube.
on
It's on
Movies
YouTube,
Anywhere,
man.
right?
The what's that?
I have it on the Movies Anywhere. I bought this a while back digitally, so you can watch it whenever. You know the app Movies Anywhere?
No, no, no.
Yeah,
Movies
I told
anywhere,
you
you
guys.
said?
Yeah, Movies Anywhere. You can go on there or Fandango if you have Fandango already. Remember the apps I told you, and I gave you the login and the
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah. So it's like the family account, for all of us to use. Yeah, it's on there if you want to check it out.
It is on
Yeah,
YouTube then, but I don't think it's in HD. It might be a DVD rip.
yeah,
There's a
man.
lot of old
That's
movies in there on YouTube.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Mexican culture, like Mi Vida Loca. I think that was just released on VHS. Someone uploaded that on YouTube also.
Yeah, it's a shame
Nice.
like some of this stuff gets lost, dude. And this all digital future, I am not looking forward to it. I think it's just it's a sign of the times too, man, and it's not in a good direction. It's good to have books. It's good to have DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks, like physical, tangible stuff that you could use whenever you want, not have to pay a subscription to watch it, not have to ask permission to anybody. You just log on, you just get on your
Or
thing,
they
turn it
edit it.
on, that's it. Yeah, that's true too. I've heard about that. Yeah, they could like edit it and change it and make it like to the modern audience's
Because they
liking.
think it might be offensive or whatever the case. That's another ongoing issue where they were doing that too. So
You want the
uh,
original Star Wars, Andy, without the
I got it.
digital?
I
Yeah.
got it. I got it on a Blu-ray. So I bought a bootleg. Just to give you an idea, they released DVDs with the original. They didn't clean it up or anything, and those DVDs went out of print quick, and they're worth a ton of money. And people still scour them for them, and people started doing their own upgrades on them. So, but we got to wrap it up, guys. We want to thank you for listening. Remember, you could follow Freeform Network on Facebook and X on the Freeform Network. From there, send your questions and suggestions to ffnquestions@gmail.com. Let us know you guys' thought on this, or if you have lost media, or what do you think about that? Send it there, and we could talk about it over to the show. Don't forget to check out our webpage. We about all the stuff that we talk about at freeformnetwork.podbean.com. All our legacy episodes are there. We've been doing this a long time. So there's a ton of episodes on there. Or click on YouTube, whatever your preferred way of listening to us. You see on the website, you can see the links to what all the apps that we're on: Stitcher, iTunes, Podbean, YouTube, Spotify, you name it, we're on it. Subscribe and hit the like button on however you listen to us, and that helps us out immensely. Again, Freeform Radio, we got Danny.
Yes, sir. I'll come back with Masters of the Universe. I'll let you know if he's got the power or not.
Take your notes. And we got Noel.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us on this one. And gonna have some Italian beef. I'm gonna try to find a movie to review for you guys next one.
Nice.
Awesome. And it's all good, Andy. We want to thank you guys for checking us out. Remember to like, subscribe, hit me up, and then we could talk. But until next time, you guys have a good week.
That was cool, Dad.